Okay, we are live. So, today, just going to be doing some more arcade any percent practice. Because I realised yesterday after yesterday that I'm really bad at this. So, yeah, I need to try and practice some more. This sounds a bit far-fetched, but I sort of want to turn this into a daily thing. I'm not sure, I probably won't be able to keep to that schedule, no promises there. But I figure maybe if I just do like one run a day, I'll slowly get better. This isn't a very difficult category, like you can do a no reset run every time and it's not like you're going to get screwed by RNG or anything. It's mostly just all about your driving. So I think the best way really is to practice. There's no excuses here. It's not like you can say, oh, I got my run ruined because I messed up. Or not because I messed up, because RNG messed me up. It's more just all down to how well you can drive. And I think that shows because yesterday I got like a 133, whereas my PB is a 127.55. I haven't checked, I was saying that yesterday as well, but I don't know for certain. I think it's a high 127. So yeah, I think it definitely shows that I've got much worse. So yeah, I need this practice, is what I'm saying. So I guess we should get started. I've sorted out all my splits now, so no weird like right stick ordeal like last time. I'm not going to be like moving my camera with the right stick and potentially messing up my splits, which is always good. So I can actually make some splits this time and not just be comparing against nothing. And like I said last time, I don't have the splits from my PB because I forgot to back them up when I got a new hard drive or whatever, had to reset my computer, I don't remember. So yeah, I'm going splitsless for now. It's not really a word, but whatever. I guess I should stop talking and maybe start actually doing the speedrun. This is the save I was using yesterday, the one that I pre-prepared. Oh, I accidentally hit controls. Whoops. Maybe I have to restart the game now? I don't know. This looks okay. I've had opening that controls menu mess with my controls before to the extent I've had to like reopen the game. But it looks like it's okay. We'll soon find out if it's not. But yeah, this is the same file I set up yesterday, so all the settings should be this. I did it again, well. All the settings should be the same though. I don't want to accidentally run into a bunch of performance issues like I did for the first 20 minutes of last stream, but it looks like all of this stuff's off now, so that's good. I just realised I should probably turn the game volume up, because I turned the music volume up and then I didn't turn up the game volume. And also this song is just really loud. I can only ever get Music B to change the volume in increments of 2, so I've got this on 71% at the moment, but if I try to move the volume at all, it will go up to 73. Like, because this is super important, right? Anyway, yeah, I think I should just start. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just kind of talking and not doing the speedrun. So yeah, let's do the speedrun. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I pressed the wrong button. So my splits are already inaccurate. You know what, I'm just gonna restart. There. Hold on, I think I need to adjust the volume a bit. There we are. I can hear myself a bit better now. Okay. I'm having to get used to new split buttons because the right stick uses the numpad, so I can't be using the numpad for my split buttons, you know, like joy to key nonsense. But I need to use joy to key to be able to do this with the camera. And I very quickly realised yesterday that I suck at talking and actually driving well. I mean, I knew that all along, but for the sake of a speedrun, I definitely felt the effects of that. So Like, I kind of don't want to say, okay, I'm just going to talk less this time, because that means the stream's going to be more boring, but... I mean, I think I kind of need to if I want to focus. Because I just, when I'm talking, I can't fully focus on the game, so I just make really stupid mistakes without even realizing. It was only until I watched the footage back after I streamed yesterday I was realized, like, wow, I just drove really terribly. I can do better than that. Because it's like I drove badly because I'm rusty, but I also just drove bad because I wasn't paying full attention. So I still don't have the route up. I'm still going to be like just selecting the route as I go. I know what tracks I have to do, I don't know them off by heart, so I've got to, you know, look through the menu each time, which probably saves me a few milliseconds each time while I try and process which race I have to do. So again, yeah, this sprint race doesn't really, it doesn't really matter how well you drive, it's all about how well the AI drives. As long as you come first, it's like, whatever. Because you can't progress through the menus until all of the drivers have crossed the finish line. And then I think I chose the right one. No, number 1 is the FTO race, so yeah, this is the one which I want. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, I didn't really want to touch that wall there. Whatever. I also know in my PB, this is one minor thing in my PB, I never do any double upshifts in my PB. That was kind of before I considered that that was a thing. I doubt that really loses me much time. My PB is great. I always say my PB is great, because it is. But that's one thing which I don't do in my PB is double up shifts at all. I think also in my PB, this might be like a fairly major thing to do with my PB where there's potential for time save, is I was in D-input mode then, so I didn't have analog triggers. So my triggers are essentially just buttons. So it was either like 0 or 100% throttle, whereas now I've got much better control because I'm in X input mode. I forget what time I split usually. I think it might be during this load screen. I didn't press the right split button. What is my split button? Okay, it's that. There's gonna be an inaccurate split now then, whatever. I gotta learn my new split hotkeys. So again, if this wasn't already apparent, this is gonna be a no reset unless something catastrophic happens. Because this is all just for practice. I'm obviously not trying to beat any of my times. I'm not trying to beat my personal best because that's completely unrealistic, very far-fetched. I wouldn't be able to do that without months more practice probably. So I'm just trying to get better, so I can be like at an acceptable quality for makeshift primarily. Because I don't want to be driving like absolute garbage if people are going to be watching or Shinyu's marathon thing, so yeah, I need to get better. I haven't really set myself a goal here, but I think it'd be nice to be able to consistently get like a sub 130. I think second place on the leaderboard is fairly close to 130. It's like a 129 something, and I spent a lot of time trying to beat that 129. So I think that's like a good goal, if I can consistently get a 129 or something. I'd, you know, definitely be pleased. That film ping on Discord, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's gonna bug me now for like the rest of the stream, or at least until I can check what it is. I think the music's a bit quiet now. I turned it down just because that one song, I turned it down from 73% to 71%, like I said, and that was just because it was that one song which is really loud, because all of Fusox's music is really loud. This is the prelude race. Yeah, but now that song's over, everything else is too quiet, so rip, quiet music. I need to get like fucking hotkeys on my keyboard for my music as well, that might help. So I can adjust music volumes if possible. I mean, the ideal thing would be to have all of the music going to a separate channel in OBS and then compressing the music so it's actually like consistent volumes. I realised in that last race with the Corsa I didn't use all my nitrous. That's another thing I need to like pay attention to, and that's one thing I suffer from when I'm talking. That's one of the mistakes I make when I'm not fully focusing, so I need to remember to use all my nitrous where possible. On some courses it's too easy to use all your nitrous, and then you have to do laps with like no NOS, and that sucks. And then in other courses it's like I just forget, and then I end up finishing the race with like half a tank left. There we go, that's how you do that corner. And I haven't had any noticeable FPS problems this time, so not so far at least. And again, I'm trying to limit the amount of programs I have open on my computer to the bare essentials. So what's the other one? I forget what the other one is. It is oh yeah, the neon. I also, well, I know I've said this before, I want to do like every category which is on the leaderboards for this game in time. But that's also going to involve doing arcade 100%, which will be something. 'Cause that's a lot of events. Trying to think, how many events do we do for arcade any percent? Well, it's free per series, but then I don't really know how many series there are. I can't remember. And then we do 5 for the grand final as well. This is math that I'm not willing to do whilst I'm speedrunning. Because if talking and trying to focus on the game isn't hard enough, I don't also want to be throwing, like, fucking arithmetic in there. Hey, that's a good corner. Hey, there we go. That was a good couple of corners right there. One thing I could do, this is kind of a bit of a weird idea, but all of your high scores are saved in a file in the same kind of directory as your save files. It's like one file and it saves all of your record lap times. So I could, in theory, make one of those specifically for the speedrun. So I know like what I'm comparing against, what my bests are per track without having to use live split. They just show up like in the game instead. No, I forgot to use some nitrous there. That's whatever. Alright, so this time we need to remember to split. There we go. Okay. So this one is the 206, 206 CRX and then the Miata MX-5. Waynos Roadster, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I know I said this last time, but this is absolutely one of my favourite of the arcade events. This 206 just feels really cool to drive. It feels very light. Like it feels very responsive and very light. And I also like this layout. Oh, I tried to cut a little bit too close there. That was more risky than it was worth. Okay, that was kind of a bit of a weird spin there. This is already feeling better than last time. I'm doing a decent job on the commentary. I don't know. I'm not really the best judge of my own commentary, as someone else would have to tell me how well I'm doing. There we go. You can, like, if you do these corners right, you can conserve a lot of speed. That's kind of the same with all of these front-wheel drive cars. You can, like, properly fling yourself into the corners sometimes and conserve a whole bunch of speed. Weird front-wheel drive car physics. Alright, so next up is the CRX with the first wall grind, I think, unless I've done a wall grind already and I don't remember doing it. I'm occasionally getting very... Oh, I was looking at OBS, I didn't see the turn come up that quickly. Yeah, I was about to say I'm getting like very minor rendering lag sometimes. I think that might be because of live split. Because I don't usually get that when I'm just playing this game without live split, when I'm doing like individual levels. That would have to be my best guess as to why that's happening. It's only very minor though. There's like a few minutes ago I looked at it and it was on like 300 frames, and now it's on about 400. And it says 1% overall, so like, I don't think it's that noticeable, but this definitely shows that I'm very much stretching the ability of what my computer can do right now. This hasn't been the best CRX, I haven't been paying as much attention, because I was like, looking at OBS. Right, there we go. And now just the MX-5, I hope I don't catastrophically mess this up like I did last time. Select the right event, hopefully. Don't want to do the show-off event in the Golf. I think that's what the other one is. I think the rendering lag might actually just be going up every time the game goes under 30 FPS. In which case that's not an issue, because like I'm used to this game like sometimes going at like 28 FPS. Like that's just kind of a fact of life at this point with my computer in this game. I got the very subtle spoiler. I'm used to this car having like a massive wing during this event. Because of all of the different wings that this game can randomly choose, and most of them are massive. I'm sure I'm glad I'm not using D input anymore though, because these long right turns with just kind of the super speedway in general is very difficult to control in D input. D input does not lend itself to like smooth turning in racing games. It's very kind of jittery. I just realised I got nitrous still. Whoops. I think that was the last event. Yeah, that was the last event in this series. I pressed the button. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I'm still getting used to my live split hotkeys. So I guess all of my splits are going to be off by like a couple seconds probably, but that's all right. And that doesn't matter to me too much. I've never been a kind of split sort of person anyway. Like, I'm more just about the timer, not the splits themselves. Right, this is only one lap, so I can go wild with the nitrous. I forgot about that. Probably save some for after this corner. There we go. And then, okay, so this is 134. It's always good when there's a show-off event in the series, because then you know that you do all of the events which aren't the show-off, so it's easy to work out which events you have to do. Except for the Japanese Supercar series. Right, please no touch wall. Failing one of these perfect lap races might prompt me to reset. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Because I know this is like derust, but like I need to practice, so failing one of these isn't acceptable in my mind. Alright, so now just event 4, which is the beetle. See if I can do that like wheel spin thing I was doing when I was grinding out an IL for this. Forgot how you do that though. Okay, yeah, there you go. Alright, nice. I took that corner pretty badly. This feels okay. I need to start closing Discord when I stream, because I can just see on my taskbar it's got like, it's the Discord icon and it's got like that little 1 in the corner. So I got a notification. I got a ping, and that's like immensely distracting. All right, I think this is the last one, right? I can split here. Point to point 234. Alright, Corrado, here we go. Corrado physics, please be kind. This long kind of roundabout with the way that the Corrado handles is like incredibly strange. Oh boy, a bot in chat. Nice. I guess I can, yeah, I'll deal with that after this race. I don't mind taking the time lost to get rid of bots. It's not even like bots annoy me. Like, it doesn't bother me that there's one in chat. That what bothers me is that there's like a sketchy link in chat. I don't want anyone clicking on that. Alright, there we go. Alright. I don't expect to like save minutes over yesterday, but I would really like to get a 131. That would feel good. Because I don't really remember what yesterday's was. I think it was like a 133, a low 133, and I made some pretty evident mistakes during that run. So I think there's like a minute and a half's worth of easy time save. I don't think that run yesterday was very representative of like how well I can drive even in this like rusty state that I'm in. Okay, that was kind of strange. Maybe not do that. Oh, okay, that was kind of a bad angle. I got a bit of a bounce there, and it messed up my entry into that corner. It's kind of weird to be like speedrunning a category without the intent of trying to beat my PB. So it's not that one, it's this one. And I also need to split. Yeah, because I'm not doing this to beat my PB. I've kind of resigned to the fact that my PB is just too good. I'm just doing it because I want to be, you know, decent in this category. I'd also like some competition, that would be nice. Because then if I got some competition, I would have motivation to actually try and, you know, beat my PB, or beat the other person. Because I remember when I did get my PB, that was in response to the 129 that one person got, which at the time was world record, so that kind of prompted me to start running this category again. And that was like 2 years ago now. There's gotta be some, like, racing game speedrunners out there who would enjoy this category. This is just, like, plain and simple, like, driving. Just, like, drive as well as you can, sort of thing. Oh, okay. I was trying to use the last of my nitrous up, but it propelled me into the grass. I'm hovering around like 1% rendering lag, like at all times. That's okay though. I hope that's okay. And before it's like completely unwatchable on stream. This one's another fun one. I always forget that this one exists. But like, yeah, this one's fun. Because you can like do this crazy shit right here with the hairpins where you just like, you jump right over them. And then also this wall grind. Wall grinds are fun. I think I'm gonna try doing that wall grind in 4th next lap. Okay, I turned too early there. I was expecting more understeer than I got. Yeah, I'm gonna try the wall grind in 4th just to see how much speed I lose. Hey, there we go, that was real close. Right, so 4th gear. And then, yeah, 4th gear and then nitrous, that seems like how you're supposed to do that. Well, I mean, you're not supposed to do it at all, you're supposed to take the corner normally, but that seems like the best way to do that wall grind, is what I'm trying to say. I wonder how my PB does it. Okay, it was kind of bad. Doing these like weird bounces over the curbs, it's fun, but like sometimes, well, I mean most of the time the physics are very unpredictable when you do that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so what next? I think it's the MRS perfect lap next. Oh no, it is. Alright, please don't screw me. Is this the first rear-wheel drive car you drive and then run? I can't think. Maybe. If it is, then they definitely throw you in the deep end. This is one of the more difficult rear-wheel drive cars to control. That was bad. I played that very safe, kind of deliberately. Okay, what next? Okay, this one. So this one's 2, 3, 4. I know that because the first one's incredibly long. Oh my god, rear-wheel drive cars. Okay, it was a 39. That's, I actually know good times for this circuit, and 39 is alright. Mid 39 as well. This is Camaro, I think. Modern V8 is Falcon, Camaro, Firebird, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the next one's Firebird. Alright, so this is the first one with like a scary wall grind in it. Because the wall grind in this course can make you spin out fairly easily. There's also kind of a weird curb clip, but I made it work somehow. Oof, okay. It could have been worse. I forget, you gotta kind of counter steer into that wall grind. Because that's a left turn, so if you wall grind into that and you carry on holding left, then you spin out fairly easily. You kind of gotta hold right into that wall grind. Okay, I held right too much there. Yeah, there's a very kind of, very precise window of how much you're supposed to hold in any one direction into that wall grind if you want to get it perfectly. Because the road that you exit the wall grind onto is very narrow as well, so it's very easy to go into a wall after you exit the wall grind. Top 10 most precise wall grinds. So yeah, it's a new lap record there. I guess because I haven't driven this course with Viper yet, since I reinstalled the game. But, that's kind of my idea, to, make a like a leaderboard save file. Like I said, where it puts a, it kind of gives you a file for the leaderboard in your save folder. I want to make one of those specifically for this arcade any percent, or just arcade in general. That was a decent wall grind. So then, whenever I do one of these, if I get, whenever I do one of these, if I get a lap record whilst doing a speedrun, I know that then that's like my best. Because a lot of the time, my lap records are ones that I've done on like maxed out prototype Vipers, just like in career or something. So it's not a fair comparison. but I think that would be helpful if I had one of these specifically for my arcade runs. And then I could just swap out the high score leaderboard file whenever I drag in my arcade save. This one's kind of important that you get in front early. Like that. Otherwise you can get stuck behind the AI going into this first corner and it's kind of difficult to overtake. Especially because of how slidey and unpredictable this car's steering is. I want to do a better job at taking these corners smoothly compared to yesterday. Also everything's yellow. There's a Coldplay reference in there somewhere. Oh, that's kind of bad. Whatever, it wasn't a spin. That was a pretty solid lap. Alright, what's up next? All-wheel drive series. Oh boy, here we go. So, all-wheel drive series is easy. The issue I have with the all-wheel drive series is, it's easy to drive, because obviously all-wheel drive cars in this game are just easy to control. But the difficulty is like optimizing the races. It's like kind of the thing is easy to drive, but then like difficult to master, I suppose. If you want to think of it like that. Because you can do some like crazy turns and weird physics with these all-wheel drive cars. Which means you could save a bunch of time if you play particularly daringly. I also need to remember to do both of the wall grinds on the Subaru race every lap. Because I decided last time that is optimal. And I haven't looked at my PB, but my PB probably does that as well. I should probably just study my PB. I should do my homework. Because I have watched my PB back a bunch of times, but not recently. I tried to turn in too early there. Oh yeah, I forgot I have D-pad steering enabled. we PS1 now, boys. Oh, that was weird. Did I get like a sound bug there? That felt like the nitrous noise didn't happen properly. I've had that happen before. I hope that doesn't mean the game's about to crash. Actually, now I think of it, that was an issue I used to run into a lot more, and I haven't had happen very often. Not more recently, at least. Oh, I selected the wrong race. God damn it. Okay, that's like stupid time loss. Okay. Okay. That's probably like, I don't know, 20 seconds. I'll definitely take that into consideration once the run is over, because I'll be able to remove some time from my final time, like in my head. Just to try and work out what it would be if I didn't select the wrong race there. No, but yeah, that, like I was saying, that was a thing I used to get a lot more often, like previously, where the engine noise would like cut out. There we go, good wall grind. I'm feeling maybe if I do this all 3 laps, I'm going to end up at least getting nitrous leak, so I should probably use my nitrous early, so I don't end up losing it to a leak. Oh, I got a bit of a strange bounce there. These junctions have like raised the little red bits on the corners. They're raised a little bit, so when you go over them, you can get like a bounce, a tiny bounce. Next time I get to one, I'll point it out. So yeah, after this 180 here, this red part on the intersection, that is raised up like a tiny amount, so when you go over it you bump a little bit. And East Angel Island has a few of those. Oh, I'm lapping someone? What? I saw that someone spun out. Yeah, it was TK. Some AI. Alright. What's the other one? Oh yeah, it's the Mitsubishi Evo. And not the Evo 6 or whatever it is, the Evo 8. I always forget this one. This is another one where you want to get in front early. Otherwise you have to deal with overtaking the AI on this long straight, which is fairly narrow. I I did that last time as well. I turned too much into that corner and almost spin. Okay, this isn't going so well. This car is more susceptible to spinning than I remember. Whoa, okay. I guess he used nitrous. So the biggest mistake so far has probably been me selecting the wrong event. Or maybe this race, if you include all of these weird spins. But yeah, the biggest time loss in one go was definitely me selecting that wrong event, which that wasn't the fault of my driving, so I guess that's a positive thing, at least. Used all my nitrous a bit early there, I've still got a lap to go. But this is definitely an example of what I said earlier, where in the all-wheel drive series there's definitely a lot of time to be saved if you can really push these cars to their limits, because these cars are easy to control, but like, if you can find the limit of this car's grip, then you can take these corners incredibly quickly. And I think I went slightly over the limit in this race most of the time, because I spun out, or I nearly spun out a couple of times. Alright, so gotta remember to split here. American Muscle Series, let's go. Right, alright. Okay, so this one is this event, then the Corvette, then the Dodge Charger. I gotta remember how to do this one correctly. Yeah, this is pretty simple, once you get the technique down. This is definitely sort of like a trial and error thing though. If you didn't know how to do this, then you'd probably get stuck here. In fact, I think when I was learning this category, I did not know how to do this, and I was dreading this one every time, but what you gotta do is you just gotta wait until you get up into 4th gear and then use your nitrous. Okay, this is kind of an awkward situation. I'm gonna have to settle for 2nd here, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I won 2 of the races, so yeah, we're good. So now we want this one, not make the mistake of my former PB. This one's hard. I think I said this last time, but it's like in the rain and this car's also really slippy anyway, so... Also, this layout's kind of awkward. I don't like this layout in this direction. Actually, I think I dislike this layout even more in the other direction. I'm not a fan of this layout kind of overall. It's got a couple good corners. Like, I think this corner's alright. I guess my main issue with this layout in both directions is the section coming up here, because it's got this kind of weird corner and then there's a curb here. It's just kind of weird. Like, unless you're driving a really slow car, you've got to really hit the brakes a lot for that corner. And then you're dealing with like weird curb physics as well sometimes in rear-wheel drive cars, which might just like spin you out without you really being able to do anything about it. So yeah, I don't think this layout is very kind of fast car friendly. But I mean, it is San Ricardo, so I think this whole area was kind of intended to be simple and for slower cars, maybe. Can't be sure. I've still got quite a lot of nitrous left, and this is the final lap, so I'm gonna have to just blast it up this long straight coming up. Okay, that was kind of awkward. I'll save some for the next few corners. Okay. So next up is the Charger. I think this one has a wall grind in it. I forget. Yeah, I think after this long straight you wall grind, but not on lap 1. I don't think you do on lap 1. That handle's weird. So yeah, I think you boost and then you will grind into this corner. Like so. That might actually be worth staying in 4th gear after that wall grind, considering how much speed you have going out of it. Right, so next up after this is Japanese supercar. So that's going to be the 300Z, the show-off event in the 3000 GT, and I don't remember the other one. Okay, it's that one. I wonder if that's a wall grind, this first corner. I don't remember. Because I know if you're doing this in Viper, then you wall grind. Or if you're doing that corner in the point-to-point. The West Anderson point-to-point. But I don't think this car's fast enough to justify that wall grind. I'll try it one lap. Okay, well, yeah, I think that's a good indicator that I shouldn't do that again. Even if I didn't spin out, it didn't look like I was going to get too much speed coming out of that anyway, so probably better just to take that corner normally. Again, I'd have to look at what my PB does. I got a weird like curb clip there with one of my with my back right tire, and I didn't spin out. I kind of made it work because there was a hairpin coming up anyway, so I just kind of slid into the corner. Yeah, okay, I definitely don't think that wall grind is worth it, and I learnt that the hard way by the looks of things. This car's already incredibly difficult to control. And mixing that up with a wall grind, yeah, I don't think that's a particularly clever idea. That was my mistake. I don't think there was like a massive amount of time loss. It's probably one of the bigger time losses in the run so far. All right, yeah, the sprint in the Supra. This one's just boring, really. Whoa, okay. Don't do that. I'll take second. Or first, sure. Okay, maybe not. Okay, just like boost ahead a little bit right before the end, sure. Alright, I just need to make sure I win the next two races, I should be fine. I think that was Popper, who I lost to in Heat 1 anyway, and it looks like Popper is in last at the moment. So this shouldn't be too risky in terms of points. It's crazy because we're really close towards the end of the arcade now. Because I mean, this is like the penultimate series. There's still half an hour of the run left. I think that just illustrates how long the grand final series is. They're really far back there. That's not good for me because I can't finish the event until all of them guys have crossed the line. So this is time loss and it's nothing I can do about it. Right, show off the show off event, not the other one. I don't even remember what the other event is in this in the Japanese supercar series. Okay, this is fairly simple. Try and do a bootleg here. Okay, that doesn't count, whatever. Try and do a high-speed 360. There we go. Okay, that was a very unorthodox J-turn. I mean, it's called a J-turn because it's like shaped like a J, but that wasn't shaped like a J at all. I usually try to do quad bootleg turn here, because the bonus move is bootleg turn anyway, so it's like might as well. There we go. I still am not sure what the actual point goal is. I think it's 300,000. But this isn't easy once you memorize the good moves for show-off events. The reason I don't do donut here is because my computer cannot handle the smoke particle effects. There we go. But I think we're definitely in the clear now. I want to do a ding-dong. Bootleg turn and then into a flip-flop. There we go. What? Apparently that was a 360? I don't think so. It was a 360 and also a J-turn according to the game. Yeah, that doesn't even count as a ding-dong because it somehow thought that my J-turn was a 360. Whatever, I guess I'll try again. So first off, bootleg turn. If I can get one out. There we go. Into a 180. Into a J-turn. Into a bootleg. There we go. Alright. Now we just got the grand final to deal with. Arc 7, here we come. So this one's fairly simple. Aside from that one corner of the curb, which you have to take at high speed, which is just very risky. This is another course where it's good to get ahead early so you don't get caught behind the AI in that sort of kind of like narrow passage there. There we go. So I think last time I deemed the wall grind here not really worth it. I think I'm not going to do the wall grind this time. RX-7 handles weird. Handles like a go-kart. Oh, I'm about to lap someone. I'm gonna do the wall grind. And I end up grinding up against the wall a lot. Probably wasn't worth it. I did the wall grind final lap as well. The reason I did it this lap is because after overtaking that car, I kind of already had a lot of speed going to that next corner, so I was like, oh, I might as well just fling myself into the corner and do the grind. This is bad. People are getting in the way. There's the nitrous leak. That's okay though, because this is like the final corner. So next up is Supra? Question mark? Yeah, it is. So it will be Supra, NSX, and then the double Viper race. This one's relatively simple. I think I made it sound harder than it is yesterday. And I still maintain this was one of the harder arcade races. And this is very difficult if you're a beginner or if you're not like familiar with the game, but I've got this down. I should probably spend more time focusing on what my lines are like rather than what the AI are doing like I did last time. If you do the line perfectly through here, you can take this like weird chicane corner really well and conserve a lot of speed. That was pretty decent. But if you do it perfectly, then you can go through that little section there with the roundabout without really losing any speed at all. And that involves getting very close to the wall. It's quite risky. I probably wouldn't go for it. I mean, I take that corner as best as I can every time. It's one of those things where if it happens, it happens. And then you nut because it's like fucking amazing. I think at one point I used to wall grind that corner. It's probably not worth it though. I remember like after wall grinds got discovered in this game, like some of them were discovered to be faster, I went around and started just wall grinding everything. Thinking like, okay, well this is like Underground 2 now, I might as well just wall grind every corner. Turned too early. Oh, that's a costly mistake to make. Because like I said, you can go through that corner really quickly, but if you turn too early and crash into the inside there, you lose a bunch of speed. It's a sort of high risk, high reward sort of deal going on there. So lap 1 was good, lap 2 was pretty mediocre. And this lap hasn't been too great either, crashing into a lot of walls. There we go, that was pretty decent. So I'm still not entirely sure what the best wall grinds to do on this one are. Like this one feels very like odd to optimize because it's just kind of a lot of straight lines Just a lot of straight lines and then slow corners or wall grinds. So it's like kind of got to choose what you want to do. I tried to do the strat I do on the, I think American Muscle Series, like 5, I don't know, the point-to-point event in the Z06. I think that strat's probably quicker, but I ended up grinding a lot right there. This is also one of the tracks where if you don't like pay attention, it's very easy to just use all of your nitrous on lap 1 because of how fast this, and just like how fast and straight this track is. So I think this wall grind is worth it. Well, not if that happens, it's not. That was strange. I went into the wall grind and my car just faced forward. It's like the car didn't turn into the corner at all, it just carried on facing forward. I've actually got the AI quite close up behind me now. I'm going to do this wall grind as well, I think this one's worth it, usually. Yeah, that feels fast. That one must be worth it. I'm not sure about the other two then. Especially since this is a fairly high risk circuit. Yeah, maybe doing that strat that I do with the Z06 isn't worth it for this car. Maybe play it a bit more safe. Yeah, I don't think that wall grind's worth it. You can just take that corner fairly quickly anyway. It's like, this is a track where no matter how I do it, it never feels quick. Yeah, I carried a bit too much speed there. I'm gonna go for this wall grind again, and if it messes me up I won't do it. Okay, no, that's how it's supposed to be done. That feels worth it if it actually functions correctly. I'll go for this one again. Please no steering damage. Okay, there we go. And then I'll go for the final wall grind again, regardless, even though I know I'm pretty close to steering damage at this point, because that track is just, that wall grind is just like at the end of the track, so it doesn't matter if you get steering damage anyway. Ooh, okay. The strange bounce. There we go, that's how you do that quickly. There's some kind of weird angles going on there, but I managed to make it work. So yeah, I'm gonna go for this one regardless, because because of just how close it is to the end anyway, so if I get steering damage it doesn't really matter. Okay. That felt a bit sketchy. That wall grind there, I think it's very easy for you to do what happened to me lap 1. Alright, just the 2 Viper races. So yeah, 131 would be nice. I don't really have any bearing on if that's possible at the moment or not, because I don't have splits, so I can't really tell. This song fits this scenery quite well, if you ask me. Oof, okay. Managed to keep it under control. Just about. Shift gear barely ever feels worth it in this car. In the stock version of the Viper. The Viper takes those curves really easily, but like in the Corsa it bounces all over the place when you go over them. It's strange. Okay. I'm glad that was a tight corner anyway, because I was going pretty far around there. Okay, this is a bad angle. Okay. The AI driver pretty much always spins after that corner. Like once you've finished and the AI's in control. Alright, final race. Let's do this prototype Viper time. This really is a good way to end the speedrun. Or just the arcade mode in general. Like this is a good final challenge. Like, you want to get ahead early. This is important. This is probably the most important time that it's like important to get ahead early. Because you saw what happened last time I ran this. I ended up being stuck behind the AI until like halfway through the lap. Probably not going to talk much because I want to concentrate. And I'm still very rusty with Prototype Viper. Oh no, nitrous leak already. Probably shouldn't do the wall grind next for the next 2 laps then. I'll do it lap 4, but I'm not going to do it lap 3. So I don't want to risk getting steering damage for like half of the race, that would suck. This car feels so good to drive well. Like once you get it down, it just is so satisfying. Look at the speed of that section. Oh, okay, weird bump. That wasn't so bad. I'm ready to enter into the steering damage lottery. I hope the wall grind is kind. Alright, here we go. Nice, no steering damage. And crash right into the back of someone. Okay. I hope nobody gets in the way like last time, that sucked. I mean, somebody already has, but I mean, not anymore. I hope nobody else gets in the way. Also, fairly high probability if I crash into more stuff this lap, I'm gonna get steering damage. Please get out of my way. Have I lapped like the whole pack or something? I feel like I've overtaken, or like after I overtake this guy I will have overtaken 5 drivers. So yeah, I think that's the whole pack. Oh, there we go. Nice! That's a 130. Oh, it's going to be a 131 by the time I get to the actual end screen. Okay. But still, pretty good. That's what I was looking for. That is very satisfying, considering I was 2 minutes slower than this yesterday. Okay. Yeah, this is great. That restores some of my faith. But, oh my god, I didn't make huge mistakes during that run, but my PB is a like, to reiterate, my PB is a 127.55, I think. So, I felt like I drove okay for most of that, but I was still like 3 minutes slower. And that's like still 2 minutes slower than the next fastest time on the leaderboard, so I still have a long way to go, but I was looking for a 131 and I got an incredibly low 131. And I mean, if I didn't make that menuing mistake and select the wrong race, this would have been a 130. So I am pretty okay with this. Well, that's reassuring, I guess. I thought I was going to be stuck doing like 133s for the next few days. That's cool. Alright, well that's pretty much all I wanted to do today. I'm gonna see if anyone else is streaming. Anybody? That doesn't look like it. Well, nobody's streaming that I know anyway. There's people streaming in the Need for Speed Runs Discord who I have no idea who they are. Alright, I'm gonna actually save these splits as well. Alright, those splits are now saved, so I've got something to compare against now next time, which is always good. Even though some of those splits are a little bit off, because I was forgetting my hotkeys. But that's okay. And it turns out that ping that was bothering me for the entire length of the run was just Shinju. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah, I know these streams are shorter, like I've been streaming for only about an hour and 40 minutes, but this is like the only thing I really want to do on stream, is just practice this category. So yeah, these streams are going to be shorter. I do intend to carry on doing these. Like I said at the beginning, I sort of want this to be like a daily thing, just for the sake of practice. But yeah, that's very reassuring now that I know I can get like a 131 or a 130. Because that's not as trash as the 133 I got yesterday. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Thanks for everyone who watched. I guess check out my stream archive channel if you're interested in watching back these streams for whatever reason. It's Coconuts Clutter. I think it's linked in the in my like Twitch info or whatever you call it, my bio. So yeah, thanks for watching. I may be streaming again tomorrow, depends what the situation is. But I guess until then, bye.